entering the space of awareness, beloved ones, before we talk about toxic people, before we talk about how to handle them or how to respond to them, the first and most essential thing is to enter your own space of awareness. Without awareness, you will react blindly. Without awareness, even your solutions will become part of the problem. And without awareness, you will carry the same poison you are trying to escape from. When I say awareness, I do not mean thinking. Thinking is a clouded sky. Awareness is a clear blue sky, open and infinite. Thinking is noise. Awareness is silence. Toxic people feed on noise because noise is unconscious energy. Silence dissolves them because silence exposes truth. In my early days, I would sit for hours simply watching the movements of my own mind. Thoughts bursting, disappearing, feelings coming like waves touching the shore of my being, then fading away. I realized something very beautiful. Nothing is permanent, neither the thoughts, nor the emotions, nor the people around you. Everything is changing moment to moment. So why cling? Why react? Why allow the negativity of another to settle inside you as if it belongs to you? Most people do not live from this understanding. They live mechanically. They meet someone angry, and immediately their own anger ignites. They meet someone bitter, and their own bitterness comes alive. They become mirrors, reflecting whatever is placed in front of them. This is how people lose their center again and again. But you are not a mirror. You are a consciousness. A mirror simply reflects. Consciousness transforms. Sit silently, beloved. Just close your eyes and breathe. Feel the breath entering you, leaving you. Watch the rise and fall of your belly. The simple act creates distance between you and the outer world. You begin to see the difference between what is yours and what is simply passing through. When you learn this difference, toxic people can stand around you, shout around you, complain around you, and yet your center will remain untouched. Once a man came to me very agitated, boiling with anger. He wanted to argue, he wanted to fight, but I remained silent, just watching him. My silence became a mirror in which he saw his own madness. Suddenly, his voice softened and he said, "Why are you not reacting?" I told him, "Because your anger is yours. Why should I carry it?" This is awareness, understanding what belongs to you and what does not. Awareness is like a gentle flame within you. When this flame is burning bright, no darkness from outside can penetrate. Toxic people may come close, but they cannot enter your inner temple. They may speak harsh words, but those words will fall at your feet, not on your heart. So the first step is not dealing with others. The first step is returning to yourself, returning to your breath, returning to your silence, returning to your inner sky. Only from that clarity can you know how to walk in a world full of unconsciousness without being wounded by it. Seeing the roots of toxicity, beloved ones, when we speak of toxicity, beloved ones, when we speak of toxic people, we must learn to look deeper than their behavior. Behavior is only the surface. It is like the foam on top of the ocean. If you judge the entire ocean by its foam, you will misunderstand everything. The roots of toxicity lie much deeper in wounds that have never been healed, in desires that have never been fulfilled, in love that has never been tasted, and in fears that have never been faced. When I was young, I would sit and watch people fighting in the marketplace, shouting in their homes, arguing in the streets, their faces twisted in anger, their eyes full of fear. But even as a child, I never felt hatred toward them. I felt curiosity. I wanted to understand why a human being would choose to live in such a prison of their own making. And slowly it became clear to me. Every toxic action was simply an expression of deep inner pain. A person becomes toxic when they have forgotten their original nature. And the original nature of every human being is pure, innocent, childlike. No child is born toxic. A child is born with open eyes, open heart, full of wonder. But life, society, conditioning, disappointment, and unfulfilled expectations layer the being with dust, and slowly the natural glow disappears. In place of love, fear begins to grow. In place of trust, doubt takes root. In place of openness, defensiveness becomes a habit. When a person becomes toxic, it is often because they are drowning inside. Their anger is a shield. Their manipulation is a cry for attention. Their bitterness is a reflection of a heart starved of tenderness. If you look only at the behavior, you will see an enemy. If you look at the roots, you will see a wounded child trapped in an adult's body. Once a man came to me who had harmed many people with his harshness. He came trembling, expecting me to judge him. He sat before me with eyes full of guilt. I asked him only one question. When did you begin to feel unloved? Hearing this, he broke down completely. That question touched the root. He told me stories of childhood loneliness, of parents who could not understand him, of teachers who shamed him, of friends who betrayed him. All these wounds accumulated within him, and over time, he began to protect himself by hurting others. Beloved ones, when you understand this, Compassion naturally arises. Compassion does not mean accepting harmful behavior. Compassion means seeing the invisible suffering behind that behavior. It means understanding that a toxic person is not evil but unconscious. They are not attacking you, they are defending themselves from imagined dangers inside their own mind. When someone throws poison, it is because poison flows inside them. When someone spreads negativity, it is because they do not know how to create joy. And when someone hurts others, it is often because they have never been allowed to heal their own hurt. This understanding changes everything. You stop taking their behavior personally. You stop reacting with anger. Instead, you begin to see with clarity. And this clarity is the beginning of freedom, protecting your inner space. Beloved ones, compassion is beautiful, but compassion without boundaries becomes self destruction. There is a great misunderstanding in the world that being spiritual means allowing everyone to enter your inner space, even those who carry stones within them. But spirituality is not helplessness. Spirituality is strength, clarity, and deep self respect. You are not here to be a sponge that absorbs the misery of others. You are here to be a flame, a light, a presence that remains untouched even when the winds blow fiercely around you. Throughout my life, thousands of seekers came to me carrying their burdens. Some came with love, some with confusion, and many with great negativity. If I allowed every influence to enter me, I would have lost myself long ago. I had to learn a certain art, a very subtle art, the art of being open yet protected, receptive yet centered, available yet untouched. Imagine the sky, beloved ones. The sky allows clouds to pass, storms to rage, lightning to dance, but the sky itself remains unshaken. The sky never becomes the storm. This is how your consciousness must be, open like the sky, but rooted like a mountain. People may project their anger onto you, their jealousy, their frustration, their woundedness. But if your roots are deep in your own being, nothing can shake your core. Many people, without awareness, let every emotion of others enter them. A friend complains and suddenly they feel heavy. A family member expresses fear and suddenly anxiety enters their body. Someone speaks harshly and they carry that harshness within them all day. This is how you lose your inner space. This is how you become a victim of energies that do not belong to you. Once a woman came to me crying. She said, I feel poisoned by the people around me. They drain me, they hurt me, they leave me feeling empty. I asked her, whose permission are they taking to enter your heart? She looked confused. I told her, you are the gatekeeper. No one can enter unless you open the gate. She had never thought of it that way. most people never do. They leave their inner gates wide open, allowing anyone to walk in with muddy feet. Protecting your inner space does not mean rejecting people, it means choosing what you allow inside. It means listening without absorbing. It means being present without being pulled into the emotional storms of others. It means responding from a place of clarity rather than reacting from a place of clarity, rather than reacting from a place of confusion. You must remember that your consciousness is a temple. A temple is not closed, but it is sacred. You do not allow just anyone to walk in screaming, throwing, creating chaos. In the same way, do not allow people's negativity to pollute your inner sanctuary. You can love people from a distance. You can support them without losing yourself. You can be compassionate without becoming a victim. This is true intelligence. This is true protection. And only from this protected inner space can real love, real compassion, and real understanding bloom. Responding without reacting. Beloved ones, the greatest power you possess in dealing with toxic people is the power to remain centered. Toxicity is nothing but unconsciousness searching for fuel. It survives only when you react. It grows only when you participate. The moment you stop reacting, the entire structure of negativity collapses like a sandcastle touched by the tide. When someone approaches you with anger, they come with an invitation. The invitation says, "Enter my madness." When someone speaks harshly, another invitation arrives. Join my chaos. Join my chaos. Most people accept these invitations instantly without even reading them. They jump into the storm and then they wonder why they feel shaken, disturbed, drained. But a conscious person does not accept the invitation. A conscious person smiles, watches, and remains centered. Once a man came to me shouting, accusing, burning with rage. His words were fire, yet I remained cool. He asked, "Why do you not argue with me?" I told him, "Because this anger is your fire, not mine. If I argue, I must borrow fire from you, and I have no need for it." He became silent, not because I defeated him, but because I did not feed his flame. This is the secret. Reaction is food for the unconscious. Silence is nourishment for your own soul. When you react, you become equal to the other person's unconsciousness. When you respond, you rise above it. A reaction is immediate, blind, mechanical. A response is conscious, slow, rooted in your being. A toxic person expects reaction. It is what they are used to. The moment you refuse to react, you introduce something new into the situation. Awareness. And awareness is like sunlight. Darkness cannot exist in its presence. People often ask me, Osho, what should I do when someone tries to pull me into their negativity? I tell them, do nothing. Be a witness. Be a witness. Witnessing is not weakness. Witnessing is the highest strength. When you witness, you become separate from the drama. You stand on the hill watching the valley below. You see the storm, but you are not in the storm. Imagine two people fighting. If you jump in, you become the third fighter. But if you step back and simply watch, you remain untouched. The same happens with toxic interactions. If someone throws insults, watch the energy behind their words. See their pain, see their fear, see their confusion. When you understand the roots of their negativity, reacting becomes impossible. Compassion arises naturally, and compassion dissolves the impulse to fight. Responding without reacting means giving yourself space. It means taking a breath before speaking. It means allowing silence to settle before choosing your words. It means refusing to let another person's storm enter your inner sky. Remember, beloved ones, no one can control you unless you hand them the remote, and you hand it over the moment you react. Keep your remote within yourself. Choose your emotional climate. Let your response come from your center, from your heart, from your awareness. This is not just the smartest way to deal with toxic people. It is the only way to remain free in a world full of unconsciousness. Creating distance when needed, beloved ones. Once there comes a moment in every seeker's life when silence becomes the only intelligent response and distance becomes the purest form of love. Not all relationships are meant to be held close. Not all connections are meant to be walked with. Some people come into your life as lessons, some come as tests, and a few come simply to remind you of who you do not wish to become. In my own journey, I encountered many people who carried storms inside them. They did not want peace, they wanted conflict, they did not seek. For such people, your presence becomes an opportunity to pull you into their inner chaos. And if you allow them, they will drain your energy, cloud your clarity, and weaken your spirit. I learned early in life that stepping away is sometimes an act of great compassion, both for yourself and for the other. One day, a man came to me and said, Osho, I try so hard to fix people, to heal their pain, to change their behavior, but nothing works. I looked at him and smiled. Then I asked, Why do you carry this burden? Who made you responsible for their inner world? He was silent. I told him, sometimes the most loving act is to walk away. When you stay too close to someone deeply unconscious, you do not lift them up, they pull you down. Distance is not rejection, distance is simply a recognition. Recognition that your growth matters. Recognition that your inner peace is sacred. Recognition that not every soul is ready to walk the path with you. I have stepped away from people not because I disliked them, but because I loved my own silence. There were moments when my energy was flowering, delicate, like a blossom in spring, and one harsh word, one unconscious presence could have damaged it. So I protected it. I moved away gently, without anger, without judgment, simply with awareness. You, too, must learn this art. When someone consistently harms your peace, step back, not dramatically, not violently. Simply shift your energy toward people who nourish your spirit. Move quietly like the sunrise moving across the sky. Do not announce your departure. Allow your absence to speak. When you no longer offer your attention, your time, your emotional space, the relationship reorganizes itself. Understand, beloved ones, that you are not abandoning anyone. You are choosing yourself. And choosing yourself is the beginning of true love. Toxic relationships survive on proximity. When you give distance, the pattern breaks. Either the other person grows, seeing the intelligence of your silence, or the drama moves elsewhere, seeking another audience. Do not feel guilty. Guilt is a trick created by society to keep you trapped in unhealthy bonds. You do not owe your peace to anyone. You are responsible for your own inner garden. If someone keeps stepping on your flowers, it is time to build a fence. Distance creates perspective. Distance creates healing. Distance allows energy to settle. And sometimes, beloved ones, distance is the medicine that both souls need, even if only one soul recognizes it. Returning to your inner light, beloved ones, ultimately, the smartest and most profound way to deal with toxic people is not through confrontation, not through strategy, and not through cleverness. It is through returning again and again to your own inner light. The world is full of unconsciousness, full of noise, full of people who have forgotten their own soul. But if you remain rooted in your own being, nothing from the outside can disturb you. The stronger your inner flame becomes, the less power the outer darkness holds. You must understand something essential. Darkness cannot enter light. Only light can enter darkness. If you walk into a dark room with a small candle, the darkness begins to disappear immediately. But if you bring darkness into a room full of light, nothing changes. Light remains untouched, unshaken, invincible. This is how your consciousness should be. A flame that burns steadily within you, no matter how many storms try to blow it out. In my life, I have met people who are deeply troubled, filled with anger, jealousy, resentment. They tried many times to pull me into their storms. But I remained centered, not because I resisted, but because I rested in my own inner space. When you rest within yourself, when your awareness is alive, you become like a mountain. Winds may blow, rain may fall, storms may roar, but the mountain remains unmoved. Toxic people lose their power the moment you rise above their level of consciousness. They cannot touch you because you are no longer standing where they are shouting. You have climbed to a higher place. From that height, their drama looks small, almost childish, like a play happening far below on the ground. Their words cannot reach you, their negativity cannot touch you, and their emotional storms cannot harm you. But to reach this place, you must return again and again to your inner light. Sit silently every day, even for a few moments. Close your eyes and feel your breath. Watch the movement of thoughts passing like clouds. Remember that you are the sky, not the clouds. You are the witness, not the noise. You are the light, not the shadows created by others. Once a disciple asked me, Osho, what is the best defense against negativity? I told him, shine so brightly that negativity cannot come near you. Light does not fight darkness, it simply exists and darkness dissolves. In the same way your awareness should become so strong, your inner peace so deep, your understanding so clear, your that nothing anyone says or does can pull you out of your center. When you live from this place, toxic people become teachers. They show you where you still react, where your awareness still has room to grow. They become mirrors, helping you see your own unconscious spots. And once you realize this, you stop fearing them. You stop avoiding them. You meet them with calmness, with clarity, with compassion, without losing yourself. Remember, beloved ones, you are not here to fight darkness. You are here to become light. And when your inner light shines bright, you become a presence that heals, transforms, and inspires. In such a presence, even the most toxic person becomes just another step in your journey toward awakening.